lesson on classification in kind of an unusual place. We're at the grocery store. When we look at classification, we're going to start with some non-living things versus some living organisms. When we look at cereal, there's all different types. We have things from flake cereal to loop cereal. We have nutritious cereal. We have here, and then all the way back to the not so nutritious, maybe. You know, but there's lots of ways to classify them. Different types. We see them on the shelf. What else in our world? What other living, non-living things do we classify? We're going to take a look. Talk about variety. When we classify non-living objects, look at the car lot. Okay, we have, of course, my personal favorite, sports car, but we have vans, trucks, SUVs, two-door, four-door, sunroof, no sunroof, you know, souped-up tires, normal tires, so many different varieties and characteristics that makes each car its own individual. Living things are much like that. Scientists have grouped the 9 million plus organisms that they believe are on our planet. Only 1.8 of these millions have been given names. So when we look at these things, we see how they can be classified in large groups. Just like a van, truck, car, there's distinctive characteristics that give these kingdoms, as we call them, their own specificity. All right, the first thing we'll look at is probably something like cell structure, whether they have a nucleus or no nucleus, which we call prokaryotic and eukaryotic. That makes a difference. Also, how they obtain their food, their method of locomotion, their ancestry, DNA, all those things help the scientists decide which category or kingdom to put living things in. In just a moment, you're going to see these kingdoms. Start with the animal kingdom, then move on to the plant kingdom, the next fungus, then we have protist, and lastly, archaea and eubacteria. So there's 6 kingdoms that scientists classify these organisms. I'll let you look at it and get a little bit more detailed, and so you can become familiar with what organism belongs in what kingdom. Now that we've examined the kingdoms, we're going to look a little bit in more detail. There was a scientist in the 1800s by the name of Carolus Linnaeus. He had a classification system known as taxonomy, and it's how scientists divided organisms. Mainly at that time, it was plant and animals. Since that time, that system has been revised, although its structure kind of remains the same. But when we look at Linnaeus, he also thought that each individual organism should have a scientific name, that name being made up of its genus and species. That scientific name was very particular to the individual organism, and it told a lot about the organism. So as we look, we'll take the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom is a vast kingdom. Most organisms in the animal kingdom, matter of fact, 99% are smaller than the size of a bumblebee. So you can see the variety is great, with large animals seemingly making up only a small percentage. But how do we classify these things? How do we divide them up past them being just in the animal kingdom? We can use our school, for example. Take our classroom, for instance. This is Science Lab 2. When describing to someone where this is, we could say, well, our classroom is located on the planet Earth. That's a pretty big place. But we can even narrow that down further by saying we're in the United States of America. Again, that specifies a little bit smaller group, but still pretty vast. Next, we can say we're located in the state of Mississippi, which narrows it down even further, still belonging to a little bit larger of a group. Then we can narrow it down to even our county, which would encompass only 3 high schools, but still the group is smaller. Lots of students there, lots of classrooms within that county. And then we can say, you know, we're on the campus of Northeast Jones in this community, the Powers community. and that narrows down the region. But it also gives us a large number of classrooms in the school. So we need to narrow it down. We're located in Building 2, in the annex, in Science Lab 2. With each level, our room gets very close specifications on where it's located. It's the same thing with animals in the animal kingdom. With each level, kingdom, next phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species, we get very specific to what that organism is and the characteristics it has. So that's a little bit about classification and how things seem to work.